Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
Episode 2 of 2024.
I like it.
Here we are, and we're ready for the flood, the great flood that's going to happen.
Oh, so we got Noah's kayak? That's funny.
Yeah, we got some beer from down the street here from the studio, Burning Bush, ex-preacher, pastor, now brewer, owner. Yeah.
There's a bush and it's burning, Brad.
Right.
There you go.
I wonder why the kayak says Gen 7. Is that a reference to something? I don't
Yeah.
know. But then it's got a little Chicago flag on the kayak.
Yeah, this might be his branch of Chicago River because that's probably the brewery back there.
Right.
Now, this is Golden Ale. I like the beer.
Mm-hmm.
Magnum, Cascade, Amarillo, and East Kent Goldies. He didn't have to call out any of these hops because none of these hops popped out at me.
Right. In a golden ale at 4.6, it's like, your hops are irrelevant to me.
It pays homage to the backyard, the river, where there's birds and wildlife and such.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's nice. It's unoffensive beer, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I think, I never go to that place. I've been once.
To Burning Bush?
Yeah.
I think I have a love-hate with Burning Bush.
Okay.
Like, it's so close,
Yeah.
so I like to go there because it's easy to get to. And the beers are either very good or very disappointing.
Yeah. Love-hate's a real thing with the closest breweries to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to support them. I don't want to see them go away. But then I go there and I try something. I'm like, that one wasn't good. I should have just got this one that I know is good.
Yeah. And, stuff is closing. So if you like it, you should go.
I only have like.
Oh. you have going.
Right.
That's better
We
than not
still
going.
don't know we haven't heard anything about their expansion or what that means yet.
They're expanding?
Yeah, they bought the space next door.
Oh, shit.
So I don't know if that's the brewery expanding, if it's seating, if it's opening a restaurant.
Could be for cans, more cans.
Could be cans, production stuff. I feel like I haven't heard anything or it hasn't been brought up in a while by anybody.
I know there's a workout facility next door to them, too.
Right.
It's at the end of a dead-end block. There's a ghost kitchen at the end of the block. It's right by the river.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, in Irving Park. So if you haven't been, check it out. Beers are, I don't know, they're fine, right? Yeah. And this one's pretty tasty. I like this one. Not to say these beers aren't enjoyable, and this one's good.
I like this one.
Yeah. That also, I've had many others that are top tier too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Let's get off this and move on.
Okay.
This week, I made it over to Old Irving.
Right on.
Also fairly close.
Super close.
Yeah.
Which would you say is closer?
Burning Bush is.
Way closer.
Oh, Eros might be closer to me.
Okay.
It's tough to say. Oh. But I just stopped in, picked up food, and had a beer as I was waiting for food. Had the Doji. So I grabbed that. And yeah, it's a nice little, I forget what that is. It's not their Kolsch, but I got it in almost the Kolsch glass, and then the 10-ounce glass, the Kolsch style glass, the skinny one.
Sponge.
Yeah.
The Rod, whatever the name of the rod,
Rod
is.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
So that beer's always tasty. I didn't really see anything worthwhile to pick up or anything we hadn't had on the show before. So besides like big stouts and
Krampus.
Krampus, yeah. I don't know if we've ever done Krampus.
I don't think I've had it in like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, so I guess I could have, and then
It was there. It was on draft.
it was on draft, yeah, and they had cans of it.
Did you try the Krampus?
No.
Okay.
Our buddy Trevor was pouring. He cracked open a bottle of Bourbon County Angel's Envy.
Nice.
When he was there, I think someone from Goose was there, and I overheard him say they are working on a collaboration with Goose as like a welcome to the neighborhood
A collab. I've heard people say collab,
collab.
which is kind of funny. I would never say collab, but it's funny.
I forget what he said, but it sounded like it was some sort of rye barrel or rye thing. And then I think it's going to be able to, they'll sell them independently, but you can blend them together similar to the microphone thing.
Microphone. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. With phase 3, that was the exact same thing. One was chocolate, one was strawberry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do a similar thing, which is really cool to kind of, I don't know, a welcome to the neighborhood thing and remind people that Goose is still doing fun stuff.
And for people keeping score, Old Irving's moving into the old Goose Barrel Warehouse across the street from Goose, which was also home to Finch
and
at one point.
Pig like mines or pig mines?
One of like mines or pig mines. One of them is in Rockford. Pig mines is in Rockford.
Oh, okay.
So it was like mines.
Like mines.
Like mines. Yeah. So I think the plan for Finch is to be customer facing where the other crew wasn't. Maybe. Right?
Or Old Irving to be customer facing?
Oh, what did I say?
Finch.
Oh, yeah.
Finch is dead. Finch
was not open to the public. It was just a production facility.
There's no Finch anymore, right?
Right. So, but you couldn't go to it. In fact, the only time we went was when they did Block Party one year.
Right. But I don't think Old Irving's going to have customer facing anytime soon.
No?
I don't think that's the plan.
Okay.
So.
No, so we still won't be able to go. All right.
So kind of excited to learn more or hear more about what this collab is.
Collab.
Nice. What about you? You were over at Half Acre, right? We're drinking all these Half Acre glasses.
Yeah.
These are like some of my favorite glasses.
This is a very nice glass. Balmoral for Twin Chariots, which is their latest release, their first barrel aged release of 2023. So this is a beer that's spent. This is a barrel aged stout with vanilla.
Okay.
Madagascar vanilla.
Okay.
And it was finished in peach brandy barrels. So it spent 20 months in Elijah Craig barrels. That's a Heaven Hill product. And then it was finished in peach brandy barrels.
Peach brandy barrels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you read the description, I think maybe some of it just spent time in peach and most of it spent time in Elijah Craig.
Was the peach too strong?
And they just blended
they're
it.
like,
We got to bring back this peach.
There's too much peach.
It's too much peach.
Was it too much peach?
It was peachy.
Peachy. Not peachy keen.
I was wondering if I even I'm like drinking this beer and I'm like, do I like peach? Or is it that do I like peach in a stout? And I'm like, have I ever had peach in a stout?
Right.
And all these things are going through my head. So the peach and the vanilla made it all come off to be kind of a creamy peach.
Right. I don't know if I really enjoy peaches. I like a nectarine.
Peaches are a little too mushy for me. The actual peach.
Right.
But the flavor of a peach is good. I like a peach in juice or something.
Sure.
Tea.
Oh
sure.
yeah, peach tea.
Bring it on. This reminded me of when I was a kid. We had these instant oatmeals. The little packets.
Oh yeah.
Apple. One was apple.
Yeah, and then there was a peaches and cream.
There was a peaches and cream. It tasted like that.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, I did like that. Now, did I want a beer that tasted like that? I'm not sure.
I think there's the apple, there's the peaches.
I forget the other ones, but those were the two.
Another one, and then there was like a plain.
And you can go crazy and take an apple and a peach, put them both in your bowl and just go nuts.
But plain was always the one that was like left.
There was brown sugar one.
Oh, there was brown sugar, and
Brown sugar's pretty good too.
probably plain. And then no one wanted the plain.
Yeah. Oh, but it tasted like that. I mean, not that it tasted like oatmeal, but it tasted like that type of peach.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's what they were going for. So. Oh, but I will say this about the Half Acre. The rollout. So they announced this thing like that day, from what I gather, on Ozenar. and then it sells out like that, and then you have the chance to pick it up that day if you bought it.
Okay.
Oh, but then they roll out the beer the exact same day when they open. Like, it's not a big fuss. They just put it on draft. So you can go put it on draft. You can drink it. Even if you didn't buy a 2-pack for $24, 12-ounce cans, a 2-pack for $24, you can just get a fucking 6-ounce pour and just do that. So that's what I did.
Okay.
So, and I'm like, this is a good try for you. Buy it. Because, their stuff sells out. Like, Benthic sold out, but then I walk in there yesterday and the fucking cooler's full of Benthic. Fader's gone forever.
Right.
You go in there and there's Fader in the cooler.
They have to sell it to the people that are in to have it right away. And that's like, okay, a month later, you might have got your Benthic. You're not paying attention. We'll just put the rest in the cooler.
Yeah. So part of it is for sure that I feel like. But then I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, we're going to get some double chariot. Was it twin chariots? We're going to get some twin chariots in the cooler here. He's like, well, it happens if people who ordered it don't pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
So it could be there now.
It could be there. Yeah. I think, no, they got till Sunday.
They got a week.
They got till
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. So Wednesday through Sunday. So good. That's a good amount of time.
So if you go over Monday.
Yeah. If you go there Monday, it might be in the cooler. Whoever didn't pick up.
Oh, okay.
Or they couldn't find a proxy or whatever. So.
But
I do like
$12 a can.
Yeah. I think even the 6-ounce pours were like I want to say $7.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like $7.50 for a 6-ounce pour. So I mean, it is what it is at that point. You either want to try it or you don't, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so I tried that. You gotta give them credit for just being creative and trying something new. And I do appreciate the fact that I can walk in there very unassuming fucking Wednesday night and just try this brand new beer that's sold out. You can just try it on draft. I do like that approach as a rollout.
Yeah, there is like this hype and no hype around Half Acre where people will buy all that beer if it's on the app, but then you could just go to Half Acre and it's not busy and like, oh yeah, give me that limited release beer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here you go.
For people that if it's in range and you didn't get it, if the draft lines are in range of you, then go drink it. I do like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We were talking in the pre-show about the peach stuff, and there was that peach IPA from Haymarket.
I think that's the last peach beer I had. Because I'm thinking, like, what's the precedent for a peach dark beer? And I'm like, I can't think of one. And the last peach beer I think I had was a beer in a glass. I had whatever the peach beer from Haymarket is.
Right.
7.2% peach beer.
All right, you hear about apple brandy. You don't hear about peach brandy.
That's true. And I believe it's brandy that was made from
Peaches,
right? Or was it, like, I'm not even sure. I know brandy's like a fruit-based thing.
Oh.
Right? Don't they just distill? Don't they make the wine and then distill the wine, but the wine's made from whatever fruit they're talking about? I think that's how cognac works. Cognac is wine. I would assume that brandy starts as wine.
So just the fermented fruit.
Distilled.
Or distilled fruit.
Yeah, fermented into wine and then distilled. The wine is distilled, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you could have, because there are different, I feel like there's a cherry brandy,
That's what I'm
apple
saying.
brandy.
So,
and why does peach brandy get just like
Yeah.
shoved to the side?
And I didn't understand the barrel part. Like is brandy, I don't believe brandy has to be barrel aged.
Right.
So, but this rested in a peach brandy barrel.
Maybe that peach brandy was barrel aged peach brandy.
Okay.
And some like maple syrup kind of.
Oh, like a second use barrel. Like it's because that's what Scotch is. Like all Scotch is from barrels that had something else in it.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that. They took a previously used wine barrel or bourbon barrel and just fucking threw peach brandy in it. I guess that had to be it, but yeah. I mean, this beer was fine.
Yeah.
But I would encourage people, if you see, and those Nerd Drive for Half Acre and it sounds interesting, I would encourage people to just go show up at Half Acre the day it drops if you don't want to commit to it.
Well, you could order it on the app, right? Because you're not paying for it. Do you have to pay on the app?
You claim it once you get there.
Right. So then you could go try it and be like, no, thank you. And then just not pick up your order, right?
That's true. You don't have to claim it. They encourage you don't hit the claim button until you get here.
Right.
So I don't know if you get like a credit on those or something at that point or what, but it's and if that's scenario, it's a true try before you buy it. So yeah.
There
So
you go.
that's cool.
All right.
And it's an excuse to get to have egg on a Wednesday.
Right.
So good for them for getting me out the house.
Might not happen this week. It's gonna be what, 0 degrees outside.
It's not looking good.
No,
It's not looking good at all.
if we're not. We could freeze to death. We may not be here next week. That was your only stop.
Yeah. So a pretty slow week, man.
Yeah, same here. On the last episode, we were talking about your visit to Other Half.
The Remova Theater.
Right.
Yeah.
And this thing took on a life of its own. No thanks to us, because no one was clamoring for our opinions here. But everyone was talking about how expensive these beers were, us included.
Yeah, I think we did mention that.
And since then, they've basically cut the prices in half, or there's no beer over $9. Is that the
It's like more of a reasonable price, right? Sounds like.
right? But my thought is like they were obviously gouging people, right? Like typically, I would assume these breweries are pricing these drinks at something that they can kind of make a profit at, but not so much that they're just like getting rich off every pint. That would be my thought of every brewery, right? And so if
Cover the cost of goods and then make a little
little
more.
extra, right?
Okay.
So you could continue to grow or try things, and stuff doesn't work out. So, but if they can drop it that much, does that mean other breweries could also just drop their prices? Were they inflating them so much, or is everyone inflating these prices?
The Beer Adam chimed in, who used to work at Publican and Big Star. I think he now works
Okay.
for his distro. He started a distribution. But he said $16 is normal because by the time they get other half keg from New York, in order for them to make any money off of it, they have to charge $16 a pint for it.
Okay.
So I feel like two things I think, right? Part of it is that they consider themselves a venue, and venue pricing is going to be a little bit more, right?
Sure.
But that's like a big venue, like a Bears game,
Right.
Or
I understand.
or
I'm
a
not
Sasuke.
happy about it, but I'm fine paying $16, $18
Or-
for the anti-hero
Yeah.
24-ounce can.
Or
whatever.
Rev said at those soccer games, they charge $16 for a 5% hazy pitch at the Chicago
Right.
soccer games.
Like, okay, I understand.
so-
I'm at this place.
Right. So I think they considered themselves in play to be a venue because it's a 1,500 person music stadium.
Sure.
So we're a venue, we can charge venue pricing. I think that's what they thought. But then also, they're not brewing out of Remova yet. Like the tanks are there, but the tanks need to pass inspection, so the tanks aren't running yet.
Right.
So all this beer, they got 16 different beers or whatever. Maybe it's
It's
12.
coming from New York.
It's all coming from New York or whatever other halves there are. They're probably Philly or wherever the closest one
But they're
is.
still buying it from the distributor.
Right. So if you're selling those same kegs that they're charging other people $16 a pint for, if you're charging half of that at your location, then you're undercutting the other people you sell to. I think maybe that played into it. I don't know.
Oh, so no one else in the city would even want to sell other half because they're charging 16.
And you could just go to the source and get
It'd
it
be
for
like, well, I'll just
$9.
get a 9.
Why would you? Yeah. Why would you do it? Why would you drink it at Nick and Brad's Tavern
Right.
for 16, where you could just drive your happy ass down to Bridgeport and get it for 9?
But that also plays into a long time ago. Was it who we were talking to? But they were saying that like something like Off Color, where they can charge less for their pints and their beer, but because they're next to Whole Foods, they sort of play nice, where they charge the same because Whole Foods has to then buy it from the distributor into there. So for them to make the price, they got to charge a little more on it, so they don't undercut the beer prices. Otherwise, Whole Foods can be like, we're just not going to buy your beer.
Well, some of that pricing. Don't get me wrong. I think they thought they'd get away with it. That's definitely part of it. But I think other part of it might be that I think that's market price for a current other half keg coming from the East Coast currently. I think that's how that price got set.
Okay.
Yeah. If you listen to people who buy other half beers that aren't made here, because none of it's currently made here.
Sure. So the Beer Adams and other people who weren't shocked by these prices as much as the consumer was like, I'm not going there.
If you're a consumer like me, I'm like, yeah, you're a venue, but I can walk to Sleeping Village. That's a venue. Motherfucking pints ain't $16. It's like, they're a venue. Why, so I was kind of like, I can't come back here. So,
But I bet, Beer Temple or somebody was probably like, if we got other half.
Beer Temple is a good
16.
example. If other half showed up at Beer Temple, it'd probably be close to 16. Fucking Cantillon, that's how much you're going to pay for that. Or you're going to pay, you're just going to get a small pour. You can get a $9 pour, but it's going to be for like 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think it's online for what a keg of other half goes for in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now they're basically losing money on these beers until they start brewing.
Unless they, what they were doing, they did a series of open house events where you go get a ticket, the ticket's free, and you just get to tour the joint. It's a self-guided tour, and the entire venue's open.
Oh, cool.
And you can pre and post game, if you buy beer, all through the venue, at the bar, the tap room, and all the bars around the place. So, if they just keep doing that, now it's a venue.
Right.
That's a venue night. Now it's a venue, so it's back to 16. So.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if there's definitely no precedent for it here. Not there's no precedent for a live music venue that's also making beer.
Right.
I mean,
We have Salt Shed, which will be online.
So
and what Goose Island decides to charge for the pints there.
Would it surprise you if the Goose prices were more than they were at Clybourne?
I wouldn't be surprised, and I think people would be mad, but you're going to a show there, and no one's deciding just like, I'm going to go to Salt Shed just to go to Goose Island at the current moment.
Yeah. Because Salt Shed's a good example. We saw RTJ there, and Salt Shed they have a bar connected to Salt Shed, and Goose is going to be like this separate building, next to Salt Shed.
Oh,
but it's not connected to where the concert is.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's a separate building with 200 people.
Okay.
Oh, but there's a bar at Salt Shed that's in the building that you go to see the shows.
Okay.
That building is, you go get fucking Dovetail Lager, and it's like $14. Yeah. So I think any beer that you get outside of Goose might fall in that category. But this is a venue. That's a venue, so that makes sense.
Right. But then you're like, whoa, why would I pay $15 for $14 for Dovetail when Goose has their IPA here for $12?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how's that going to work, right? Like, you're in competition with the bar that's
brewing right there.
So everyone's price has to be the same, right?
Yeah, so Goose is going to make more money on their beer than them buying the Dovetail would, right?
Yeah. But does Goose set all their beers at regular pub prices? Or does Goose set their... Because if me and you are going to see anybody at Salt Shed and Goose is pouring, $4 honkers, or we go into the venue and all the beers are $12-$20, what are we doing? We're gonna get busy at Goose, right? I mean...
Right. You'd be like, I'll just go drink there and then I'll go see the show, and then I'll be done.
So I guess that's my question. Like, what is Goose going to charge? I wonder.
But if Goose charges $12 or $14 for that honkers, and then Fulton's is selling that honkers for $6, aren't you just like, I'll just go to Fulton if I want a Goose beer, unless you're there for a show, right?
Oh, so
you're not going to get people to just come to Goose if they're like, well, the same beer 2 miles away is $6 cheaper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see. Goose has more sense than other half, though. Right?
I think they know their market and their consumer way better than other half would.
Yeah. So I don't think it would be a crazy pricing at Salt Shed.
No. Pay. Yeah. They're already charging you a lot for a 312 at United Center. So.
And you were drinking Eagle Rare, or no, you were drinking Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy is like a $40 bottle of beer.
Right.
That's their markup. They have moments where they do mark up shit, because $40 for that beer or for the Eagle Rare one is pretty intense price for one bottle of beer.
Right.
It's $40 and it's a one bottle of beer. So
Right. It's tasty.
no, it's really good.
When someone else opens it
Oh,
and
it
gives
tastes
me
even-
taste,
tastes
it's
even
even
better.
better. Yeah, I'm not.
Like, God damn, they did their thing here. Oh man.
Yeah.
But
What was the other thing we saw? Oh, octopi.
yeah, octopi up in Wannabe, Wisconsin. I have no idea where that is.
Right. And I thought that octopi brewed some stuff for Maplewood.
They are a contract brewer.
Our contract brewery. But,
Yeah.
So they got bought by Japanese brewery.
Asahi, is that how you say that?
Right.
Yeah. It's a Japanese lager brewery. It's the top selling beer in Japan.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other beer there besides the like
Sapporo.
Hitachino and Sapporo.
Yeah.
That's
That we know about. Yeah.
yeah. Not too many other things. It's not really a beer drinking place. They like their whiskeys.
I don't know. I've never been to Japan. I don't know.
So yeah, they got bought by them to basically brew their beer.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I recently had I had ramen, happened to have ramen this week. And I ordered the Asahi. I'm like, oh, it's on the menu. It's the only beer. Okay, I've never had it. Oh, but it says product of Italy on the bottle.
Oh.
So I guess if they're looking to expand and all of North America and South America, you know, delivering beer from
The Midwest.
makes more sense for them.
Right.
Right.
Did
If
you get the side with the like big foam top on
No,
it?
it
Like
was,
some of those places have it where you can almost get like I don't know, crazy foam top, like an ice cream top on it or something.
Oh, it was surprisingly very heady.
Yeah.
I did notice that in
I
the
feel
photo.
like that's their thing.
It was. I'm like, for a lager, this has a ton of head on it.
Yeah.
For a light lager, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was easy. You didn't have to think about it. It was clean.
Right. Is it actually a Czech lager?
Well, the bottle says light lager, whatever that is. Pilsner light lager is what it says.
Yeah, it might actually be like a Czech pills, so that makes sense for the big head on it.
Super dry. It's brewed with precision, man. That's all it says.
Okay. So I don't know what this means for anybody that was contract brewing at Octopi. If Asaya is going to come in there and be like, "You're out. We're brewing our stuff now."
Yeah. They were doing. There was a report that said they do 50,000 barrels a year, which is a pretty good amount.
Okay.
Pretty good amount of beer. But who all is beer in there? I think they were contract brewing for places like Trader Joe's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I mean, I'm sure they had other clients, and then their own house brand, Untitled Art.
Okay.
That all the Untitled Art beers are theirs.
Oh.
And I'm sure they had other customers. I just don't know who was brewing there. So
But if it was Maplewood, this gives more credit to them potentially taking over Metro's spot.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, because they were brewing at Great Central.
Right.
And then they were brewing in Wisconsin somewhere. It could have been Octopi, could have been Stevens Point. Unless we look at the bottle, I mean, how would we know?
Right.
I would assume the cans we get here would say Great Central, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who
I did have a maple. I had a Son of Juice the other day on tap at a spot.
Yeah,
That was fine.
kind of curious to know if they were brewing there now. But yeah, Japanese beer, buying a Midwest brewery, a large Midwest brewery, to
Right.
make more Japanese beer here. Shit, that's funny because Heineken bought Lagunitas and they make the brown ale here. Not Smith, is it Smittix?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I haven't seen a Newcastle in a long time.
Yeah.
Have you seen or had a Newcastle?
I happened to be downtown at a place like a British fish and chips pub. I can't think of the name of it. But then I saw Newcastle there. That's the
Okay.
last time I saw Newcastle. But we live in a bubble. Most people are drinking
Newcastle.
and fucking Asahi.
Modella and Newcastle.
Yeah, Modelo, Newcastle, Asahi. Like,
I don't think the Modella consumer is also drinking as
most people are drinking these beers.
Right, they're
You
the
know,
top selling beers,
that's
right?
that's what I'm saying.
No one's drinking Burning Bush.
Yeah, so somebody's drinking it. But we don't see it. Somebody's drinking it, you know. So I'm like you know, like I'm curious to know who's got the stuff in their fridge, but yeah. So that's
Go-to beer is Newcastle.
yeah. You know that guy, Isaac Shawaki, the guy who started Octopi. He was a co-founder at Fire Rabbit.
Oh shit! Okay.
He got voted out because there was some kind of sex scandal or something.
On him?
And they all banded together and said, "Hey, you need to leave."
Oh,
So yeah, he made out good. He left. He started Octopi and now he sold it to the Japanese.
and Five Rabbit is dead.
Fire Rabbit's gone.
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting how that all played out. Yeah, because there was some sort of I think it was internal. I think it was against one of the there was allegations against like you know someone internally at Fire Rabbit. I forget the whole story.
Okay.
But it did include like you know some illicit activity.
Okay.
And a vote, and them voting Isaac
Okay.
out.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
I don't think I never drink Untitled Arts very often.
I've seen it once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Did the Hop Review guys work on art for that? Not the Hop Review, Malt.
But one of the guys from Harvard View was in Malt Row.
Right, but did they work on art for Untitled Art? Or designs or labels?
I don't know their client list. I don't know.
Maybe think of another one that kind of had a similar look.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. I think the only thing you mentioned was some sort of WWE night at Kedzie
I think it's more-
Revolution. They're really, we were talking, I think, last week about, was it like, what is Rev going to do with Kedzie, right? And it looks like they're turning into a wrestling place.
Trouble is brewing. There's going to be a wrestling match March 1st at 5 p.m. The first match is going to start at 7. So Revolution is putting up a wrestling ring at their production facility, and tickets going on sale tomorrow. So,
I'm interested to know, one, where this wrestling ring goes, because the upstairs is big, but I don't think you
upstairs, I read.
Yeah. It's like a event space.
Oh, you think it's going to be there?
Right, because what? Are they going to put it next to the bar? Is there a picture?
No. Oh, yeah, so...
It's not that big downstairs.
Oh, you think it'll be at the brew pub?
No. Oh.
I think it's going to be at the tap room.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Right?
I was thinking
Yeah.
it was like, in my mind, for some reason, we said Kedzie, and I pictured,
But you pictured...
Milwaukee.
yeah, like the Brewers Lounge at Milwaukee.
Okay. Putting a wrestling ring inside Kedzie makes way more sense.
Yeah. They're partnered with Warrior Wrestling, which has a Chicago address, 700 Ashland. Oh, I take that back. Chicago Heights. So it's a local wrestling promotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, I guess, collab, right?
That is for sure an interesting collab. Yeah.
Who are some of the wrestlers?
I don't know any of these guys. I do know Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali wrestled for WWE. He was in a pay-per-view this year, or I guess last year, against Gunther, a Intercontinental Championship match.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know him. He's from Bolingbrook.
All right.
Yeah.
Wrestling's. Are you a wrestling fan or were a wrestling fan?
I've seen wrestling live on these independent things a few times.
Okay.
Saw some midget wrestling in House of Blues. That was really great.
Okay.
But I saw a boxing match in Logan Square once. You see wrestling at you see the luchador wrestling when you go to like a Pilsen Street Fest.
But not like a WWE SmackDown event.
This is
But this isn't. This is
not WWE. This is independent, more like the luchador, like
Sure.
street wrestling.
But I was wondering, were you ever a fan of the big WWF?
Oh, I watch it all the time. Yeah.
Not currently?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Not currently. But
No, I might watch it right now. Yeah, yeah. SmackDown on Fridays, Monday Night Raw on Mondays. I've watched those things. The premium live events come on Peacock.
Okay.
Once every other month.
I feel like in elementary school or middle school, probably watched them. but I have a friend that's really into it, and he like it's basically a soap opera.
It's soap opera for boys.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. It's
And you can bet on it now too.
live action stuntmen. Yeah, I didn't know you could bet.
I think you can bet on the because the stories are already like played out, so you can't bet on
they're
like
predetermined.
you can't bet on someone winning, but you could bet on like other, I guess, prop things that happen.
Okay, like how many chops across the chest this guy's gonna take, or
Yeah, stuff like that.
yeah, how many times? What kind of foreign objects are gonna come out, like chairs or steps or something, right? Yeah, that'd be fun actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestling's probably at an all-time high, man. You know, I hadn't watched since like the 2000s. You know, like the NWO. But yeah, I'd say in the last 2 years I started watching it again.
Okay.
It just reminds me of being a kid. It's like I don't watch a lot of TV, so it is like your weekly soap opera.
It's very funny. Yeah. I feel like it's a rabbit hole that's like, I don't think I want to go down, but it's cool when people talk about it. It's like, man, it sounds neat.
I think it'd be cool to see live.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
it'd be fun live.
There's sometimes events over at like Rosemont, and I want to say like the big, I don't know what's the big one every year.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania was here a couple years ago, or it's coming either this year or next year.
Well, they had what was it? A few months ago, they had War Games at Rosemont.
Okay.
And Rosemont's their preferred place. Like they never go to United Center.
No.
They always go to Rosemont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would think the suburban crowd might be more wrestling fans than the city crowd.
Well, who's got more seats too? I don't know.
I don't know. Probably United Center, right?
United Center for basketball. United Center is the largest stadium in the NBA.
So why wouldn't you do it there? But
Kind of a pain in the ass to get in and out of the UC.
right, yeah,
Rosemont's probably more convenient. It's close to the airport.
right, and it's easy off the expressway.
It's got a
for,
history
like,
of it.
everybody.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3 was at Rosemont.
Oh, shit.
Horizon.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and there probably was another one after that, but the only one I remember was, it was WrestleMania 2. People who actually listen to this are going to hate that. Because WrestleMania, the original WrestleMania was in Madison Square Garden. WrestleMania 2 was in 3 locations, New York, LA, Chicago. In Chicago, one was Rosemont.
Okay.
WrestleMania 3 was not. WrestleMania 3 was in Detroit at the Silverdome.
Okay, I feel like it's in Detroit and Chicago quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I would totally go. I think
Dude,
it'd be fun.
this sounds fun. I would for sure go to this.
We gotta look it up. Maybe we'll see what the prices are of Rev IPA at Rosemont. If it's $16 or whatever.
Let me get two hazy pitch. All right, no problem, bud. That'll be 18. No,
80?
No. That'll be 30. That'll be 30, bud. Just give me 30.
Damn. Cool. Anything else before we get out of here? The lake is freezing over, and our kayaks will not take us very far.
I think that's it, man. Yeah. Single digits ahead. Winter is here.
Right. So that'll do it for this week's episode. We should be back next week with another one. As long as we don't freeze, we might need a big winter warmer or something like that to, lift our spirits. But that'll do it. Take care.
Cheers.